Hello there, this is Dark Mike Rises, and today, I want to dive into the latest chapter in the Transformers franchise, Transformers 1. Now, I've never written a movie review before, but I felt the need to create one after the amazing time I had seeing Transformers 1, and I truly hope you end up seeing it as well. Now, I want to break down a few of the highlights of why I believe Transformers 1 is a movie worth your time. First, a special thanks to Paramount Pictures and AMC West Shore 14 in Tampa for offering an advanced screening of the movie during the Tampa Bay Comic Convention. I had a fantastic time at the convention with two of my friends, although, after a full day of activities and two of us consuming a few strong and delightful Tito's and lemonades while at the event, we almost decided to skip the screening and head home. Fortunately, after a refreshing nap outside AMC, we were re-energized and ready to see our favorite robots in disguise on the big screen. Now, like many others, Transformers has been a part of my life since childhood. From collecting the toys and watching the animated series, visiting Universal Studios in Orlando many times, to seeing them hit the theater in live action in 2007, the franchise has always held a special place in my heart. The moment when Linkin Park's What I've Done plays as Optimus Prime sends out the call to all Autobots remains one of the most iconic moments in cinema for me, and provided one of the greatest feelings of pure joy I've had with the franchise. While I've still loved the following movies as well, despite being a bit drained out by the time we got to the last night to be honest, none of them were truly able to match that feeling I had as a kid in 2007. That feeling, however, has been rekindled with Transformers 1. Transformers 1 serves as an origin story, taking us back to the roots of the Autobots and Decepticons on their home planet, Cybertron. We're given the story of how two friends, or brothers really, become part of a group of individuals that eventually become the iconic Transformers we know today. Main difference for Transformers 1 from previous films, of course, is a return to animation instead of the live action we've seen since 2007. I think this was the perfect decision in ushering in this potential new era of the franchise. I also found it refreshing to have a movie focus solely on the Transformers and leave out the humans. As much as I loved the performance of them in previous films, I was excited to finally see the entire runtime dedicated to our robot friends. Overall, the film is a perfect blend of nostalgia, action, comedy, and offers a fresh perspective on these beloved characters. Now, here are a few thoughts on what I thought stood out in the film.
Feels fantastic to be officially part of the Transformers franchise.
One of my major concerns going into the film was how Chris Hemsworth would fare as the voice of Optimus Prime, replacing the legendary Peter Cullen. I initially doubted whether Hemsworth, despite being an incredibly talented actor with immense charisma, could measure up to Cullen, who has been the heart and soul of the franchise since 1984. On top of that, Cullen just possesses such a unique voice that is rarely heard in life.
We are autonomous robotic organisms from the planet Cybertron, also known as Autobots.
It's a type of gift that a select few, such as James Earl Jones, Morgan Freeman, and Patrick Stewart, can bring to any role they are in. It's a type of voice I'm really jealous that I wish I had, of course. Honestly though, Hemsworth blew my expectations out of the water. His portrayal is distinct because this isn't the Optimus who serves as the stoic leader of the Autobots and is clearly in control of the situation. This is Orion Pax, the younger version, who is more of a maverick, constantly causing trouble and lacking the sense of responsibility we've come to associate with the character. The film explores Orion's journey of growth into the future Prime we know and love. Hemsworth doesn't actually end up replacing Cullen, but rather adds to the character's legacy by bringing to life a voice that portrays a unique combination of immaturity and recklessness that tends to coincide with growing up. And I think Hemsworth ends up being the perfect choice to take us on this journey. Of course, Optimus isn't the only future leader we see. We also witness the evolution of D-16, better known as Megatron. Now I'm going to be honest, in all the previous films, I was always rooting for Megatron to win. Yes, I know he's the bad guy, and yes, I know he's always tried to enslave the human race in the previous films. But I was still rooting for him to win, to be honest. Mainly because he will always be my favorite Transformer. Here, I was thrilled to see Megatron's origins explored. While previous films have shown him as the cold, calculating leader of the Decepticons that we know, They never really delved into what shaped him into this role. The only real emotional moments we've seen out of him were in Dark of the Moon, where after being overthrown by Sentinel Prime and tossed aside as leader of the Decepticons,
In any minute now, you'll be nothing but Sentinel's bitch.
he eventually turns on Sentinel, and even attempts to negotiate a peace with Optimus. Though we all know how that turned out.
It's off to the races.
In Transformers 1, we witness how a loyal worker and friend descends into the anger and hate that results in the eventual metamorphosis into Megatron, and it is both exhilarating and heartbreaking to witness. And much like Chris Hemsworth as the voice of Orion, Brian Tyree Henry delivers the perfect performance as the evolving voice of D16, soon to be Megatron. The film does a masterful job presenting the evolution of the relationship between Orion Pax and D16, showing how these two characters transition from being brothers to sworn enemies, and reintroduces the audience to one of the defining rivalries across pop culture. And now, the true highlight of the movie.
Hi there, I'm B127. I'm actually working on some nicknames. The one I'm floating right now is Badassatron, which is actually pronounced Badassatron.
We're gonna call you B.
The surface.
It's beautiful.
After years of being mute, Keegan-Michael Key not only gives Bumblebee a voice, but steals the show with it. The decision to make Bumblebee a character who doesn't shut up is a fantastic one, especially after years of radio silence.
Son of a bitch!
Okay, fine. I'll dial back the radio communication jokes.
So you talk through the radio?
Aggie, you're beautiful. You're wonderful. You're wonderful.
Keegan's performance is a standout. He puts his trademark humor on full display and really adds that missing piece that makes B even more of the lovable yet dangerous Autobot we've come to adore. However, be prepared for at least one of your friends to frequently quote,
The one I'm floating right now is Badassatron, which is actually pronounced Badassatron.
after seeing the movie, as one of my friends has been doing ever since we saw the film. To quote our other friend we saw the movie with, "We've created a monster."
Son of a bitch! You done messed up, Aaron!
Keegan as Bumblebee truly makes the film his own, and the rest of us are just along for the ride.
Knife hands? I have knife hands!
I can see that.
Wait, no, it was already like that, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
It was.
Yes.
It was already
Mhm.
like. Yeah.
Now I could go on and on about each other individual character and what I thought the voice actor brought to their role and why they were so awesome, but quite frankly, that would end up taking way too much time. So after the movie, for about a good 20 minutes, me and my friends ended up staying and talking to some other people about why we enjoyed the film so much, and that was one of the things that actually inspired me to write this review. But I've done all the explaining I think I can, but if you're still not convinced that you think you should go see this film, I might know an old friend that might be able to do the trick.
Like us, there's more to them than meets the eye. I am Optimus Prime, and I send this message to any surviving Autobots taking refuge among the stars. We are here. We are waiting.
Wheels! I need wheels!